Hey, love. What's new? I've been looking at a few things this week, and I could use a sounding board. Sure, go for it. I had a conversation with a family member on the weekend. Before that, I'd been making friends online for the first time and actually been acting like myself. So when something came up in the family member conversation that I wanted to talk about, I did. Not directly, as I'm still getting used to this authenticity thing. Well, I didn't do the greatest job, as I was trying to ask things indirectly, so there was either an intentional or unintentional misunderstanding. You're not sure? No, I'm not. Without going into more detail than you'd like, can you tell me more about this? I think so. So, person A learned that our relations, person B and C, weren't having a baby shower outside of one with work friends. Person A felt that this wasn't right, explaining to me that they were raised with the idea that there was always a friends and family baby shower. Possibly in addition to the work one, but the friends and family one was the main one. I got the impression person A was upset that there wasn't going to be a baby shower that they were invited to. So they told me they asked B and C if they could throw one. Person A told me they were going to invite their own friends to attend, who barely knew persons B and C, in addition to family members and friends of B and C. It sounded like they were doing this whole thing because they, person A, wanted to have the event and be in it, as well as possibly control it. And while I recognize these are all my own projections and biased understandings, I was worried that B and C were saying yes because that way they could acquire the baby items that they might not be able to get otherwise without assistance, and because saying no to such a generous offer might anger person A, who would then shun and potentially withdraw potential emotional and financial support. Again, that's from my own biased experience and feelings. Okay. So how did you do a poor job discussing this? It seems like a pretty loaded topic. It is. And I couldn't very well just ask as gently as possible, so, to clarify, are you throwing this party for them or for you? I wish we had that kind of open communication, and that I had the practice and safe space to learn those conversations. So I did my best to ask if the event was for them, B and C, or for everyone else, not directly implicating person A, and suggesting that maybe B and C didn't want a second party and weren't raised with the expectation of having another one. Person A assured me that it was for B and C, obviously, explaining the concept of baby showers to me, and saying that B and C had said yes to the idea, skipping over my unsaid understanding that they couldn't have risked saying no. I was proud of myself at one point, when person A said something that didn't sound accurate or honest, but benefited their position. I literally asked if they could clarify it, which is a great step to me. However, I didn't feel they understood what I was asking, so I asked again if it was for persons B and C, or for everyone else in attendance, like a funeral. Not the greatest statement, but you get the idea. The deceased may be at the center of the event, but it's clearly meant for everyone else. Person A told me that if I had such objections, then they wouldn't be asking me for help. I said I was happy to help, had no objections, and I just wanted to understand, but they still turned it down. I let it go, and we chatted about less sticky elements of the baby shower, so things stayed all right. They did do their usual huff of annoyance in the car, so I decided to ask if they were sleepy instead of letting myself be manipulated by it, as usual. And as usual, when they're angry at me, they didn't say they loved me when we parted, but that's normal when they're mad. Okay, so not the best way of having that conversation, but you did well. How do you think you could have done that better? I don't know. Either said nothing or just been plain about it. Staying absolutely quiet and unconditionally supportive and obedient would have been the traditional route, and left me feeling resentful and unheard. I don't like that speaking clearly about intentions and actions can make me appear selfish, unreasonable, and like a bad person to others when we have this power imbalance in our relationships. Going back to good or bad pet? Yes. I hate feeling rejected and worthless and unlovable for trying to be myself and attempting to have emotionally mature conversations about problems. I want to talk about these things at last. Do you think they would really abandon you, like you keep thinking? I don't know. I'm the odd one out in this group of relations. I'm setting more and more boundaries and taking up space I'm inherently worthy of, like they are. But setting boundaries and trying to discuss these problems in our relationships doesn't work if others are willing to ignore them for their own benefit or security. I know I'm not entitled to shake things up, but I don't like how this is. I don't want to be seen as the villain or bad person in the family. The idea that I could be rejected as being mean, selfish, and rude when I'm trying to be heard, understood, and respected as an equal really sucks. It wouldn't mean that you are what they decide you are. You can't help it if you're the villain of someone else's story because you tried to stand up for and protect yourself. Don't forget, they're the antagonists of your story right now. Do you think they're villains? No. More like obstacles or adversaries. Because they're not... I guess I keep getting mad at them for not doing the work. They don't want to have these conversations or hold space for them, and I can't make them. I don't know if they're afraid, unwilling, or unaware. I can't make them read the books I've read or go to a counselor with me. Have you asked them to go? No? Why not? I guess I don't know if they want to. I guess I don't know if I want to. Like, we're none of us close. I don't know if I want more of these people in my life or not. It might be worth a try rather than giving up. Giving up after 30 years of little to no effort on their part. You might be surprised if you tried. Or rejected and seen as the problem. In which case you've lost nothing. Know where you stand and can act from there. And what, finally leave the country? Take that risk and fully strike out on my own? Well, the former is pretty drastic. Was that your plan? Kind of. When I think about it, it just looked like a nice clean slate. What stopped you from moving your life somewhere else? I guess I'm fairly secure as I am. If I keep working, I have cash. If I'm obedient enough, I have familial support. There hasn't been that big event yet to push me into making changes and taking risks. So instead of a push, what would make you jump? Boredom and dissatisfaction. I feel like I've had enough of how this is. I'm still scared and unsure, but I'm willing to take maybe a few chances. I may need to ease up on the daydreams and expectations I attach to them and just try some realistic options. Also, the people I'm enjoying chatting with online are progressing in life and work. They know who they are. I don't feel inferior next to them. I want to be like that too. And I'm going to have to take some chances to get there. Chances like what? Well, thinking beyond family, looking into programs or passions, and knowing that no matter how much I research, I may risk picking the wrong one in the end, or making a mistake in enrolling in one or in trying something. But life won't grow if I keep standing still. I can lose time and money, and even relationships, but I have more time than I think. Money can come back and new relationships can happen. Or old ones can heal, who knows? I like this view. It's a safer jump than you're thinking. And I have time. And if I try to make the jump and heal or grow relationships, it's a far safer jump than I'm feeling. Or worst case scenario, I know not to spend any more time and energy there. Either way, an eventual happy landing. What if you take the jump, school or career-wise, and it doesn't lead where you'd hoped? I'm not too proud to drop out if I have to at this point. Or I'll learn and get an even better idea of where I want to go. Exactly.